your horror movie podcast.
Welcome back, Hack Stab Slash. It's your boy Hacky. This dude over here wearing sunglasses is Stabby. That dude over there wearing sunglasses is. He forgot all about it. This is your thing, dude. You gotta follow me up, dude. Let's get to it. We've done taking a little hiatus. We've done taking a little break, but we're back at it. Waterboy died for 30 hours. Justin just did Justin things. And I went on vacation, so we apologize about that. But when this episode comes out, it should be in consecutive with the other episode. So let's get into it, boys. Let's put on our fucking BDSM gear and let's whip and chain right through this episode.
Chains and whips excite me.
Chains and whips excite me. All right, Waterboy, this is your pick. Tell us why you chose this or how you chose this and if you spun the Wheel of Terror or not. So I can't remember. It's been so fucking long.
Right? I did spin the Wheel of Terror. This was one of the ones that I have been wanting to watch. I've heard a lot about it. Of course, it's directed by Wes Craven. I mean, GOAT of fucking horror. Literally made the one horror movie. Yeah. Oh, okay, so we already got my kid coming.
We got a sing along. What's up?
Go away.
Go away.
All right, so now we got children under the stairs, and now we have children.
Oh my! Waterboy, what is happening in your
children
house,
next to the you hear that? Yeah.
You guys
children in the walls.
I was gonna say, is this movie a true story of your house right now?
Make sure.
Are you recording in the middle of your living room?
I was gonna say.
No, dude, this is my room, dude. They're banging on my door right now.
I love how he assured us, say, "Oh, I have a lock on the door. It's gonna be so good. I'm gonna be so dialed in."
No,
Christ.
No, dude, they're. You hear that, dude? This is my life. I'm on vacation. Oh, so I think I might have kicked him down the stairs. So it might be all right.
Did you activate like your stairs to like go into slide mode?
Dude, yeah. I want those.
Did you
know cool that would be in a house?
Did you throw them? You threw your kids down the stairs and then turned it on and slid down their video games so you didn't have to buy them new ones?
Yes. Take that.
Christ. All right, Waterboy, what was your expectation rating going into this since you were the one of both of us? You've seen this before, right, Justin?
This is my first time, and I'm very excited to finally watch this because this movie creeped me out as a kid. Even though I didn't watch it, it scared me.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Talk about that later.
Hell yeah.
So what was your expectation?
Going into this, I figured it was probably going to be like a 7, just because I saw the name Wes Craven on there, and I heard a bunch of really good things, so I laid it out for a 7, and I'll say I was not disappointed.
Justin, what was your expectation rating going into this movie before we kick it off?
Probably like a 7.5. I want to say, just because same thing. I heard about a lot about this when I was like a kid, and it was Wes Craven. And this movie, so I never saw this movie, but it scared me of my basement stairs. I was already scared of my basement because I thought Freddy Krueger lived in there. Fucking thanks, Wes Craven. And then on top of that, I remember when this movie came out, I thought there was people under my stairs, so I never looked under my basement stair. Fuck, dude, Wes Craven's just had me a mess, man. Oh. But this is the first time I watched.
Blame all your childhood issues on Wes.
Yeah,
thanks a lot, Wes.
This is like a therapy session. Like now that I'm talking, like, oh man, can you guys help walk me through some stuff right now? Like, let's just talk about horror another time. I need some help.
All right, yeah, it's.
All right, let's dive right into this. Justin, I believe you are going first. So why don't you take us on a journey to the basement?
All right, so let's talk about the people under the stairs. So I was actually so convinced when I was a kid that Freddie lived into my basement. I would talk to him. I had to go down there and do laundry. I would be like, all right, hey man, like I'm cool, but like maybe the rest of the family, you take care of them first, but not me. Oh, you might talk about the movie, not like the actual therapy.
Oh no, you're fully willing to sacrifice your entire family.
Well, that's the thing. I was
like, listen, dude. Mom made me do chores, and Dad got mad at me because I didn't finish my dinner. So if you got some beef, dude, go take it up with them.
Yeah.
Listen, dude, I love my family, but honestly, when it comes to me, leave me alone. You can have them if you want. All right. That's my gift to you for giving me the gift of life.
Yeah, Freddie, if you need to get rid of this, dude, like my birthday just came up. I asked my mom for a Super Nintendo, and you want to know what her response was, Freddie? What's so super about it?
Right.
And she didn't get me one.
Yeah, no. So shout out to my family. I love you guys. But I did honestly shout out a lot to Freddie in there. And I kind of wish I didn't even just talk about that aloud because anyway, the movie. You talking about the movie? This is not a therapy session.
Let's go.
Yeah,
One day I'll work through this. So anyway, The People Under the Stairs, 1991, directed by Wes Craven. And we start off by we see a tarot card reading with two kids talking about a tough path. And they pulled the Fool card. And we find out it's this boy's 13th birthday. And we meet Fool. That's actually this kid's name. And
it's Poindexter.
Man,
his real name.
He is credited as the Fool, but he is Poindexter.
So we call him they call him Fool throughout the movie. He's our protagonist. We see that his mom is very sick with cancer. He lives in the ghetto with his little sister. He lives with Ruby. And we meet Leroy, who is Ruby's friend. And we find out that they are getting evicted. And Leroy basically is pitching that he knows a way that they can make a lot of money. Now, quickly, we meet the landlord family in a very, very fast scene, which I'm already like, what is happening? Because we basically see a mother and a father, and it looks like a daughter. And they're so excited to kick out this family. They basically say, we're going to get new condo. There's going to be new condos. There's going to be money. They're extremely rude to the daughter. And basically, the father's like eating something really weird and creepy. And he's like, more meat.
Yeah. Now that we've seen this movie,
Like,
do you guys think that was like baby back ribs, or do you think that was like baby back ribs?
I think it definitely could have been baby back ribs.
Yeah, he's literally like more meat, and he's like eating ribs. And like I said, as we find out later, this scene's way more disturbing now. But we quickly go right back to Leroy and Fool and them, and Leroy is pitching this idea. It's a foolproof plan. What could go wrong? He wants to break into the landlord's house and steal some gold coins and everything. And Ruby's basically like, no, I've heard stuff about them. I've heard the stuff. We do not want to do this.
Hey, I just got to stop you. They definitely have not seen Leprechaun. You don't steal people's gold coins.
Yeah, you don't go after that stuff. Like it never. This is not a foolproof plan. Probably should have thought this out a little bit.
Yeah, you probably should not bring a fella named Fool along with you.
Exactly. And we get another quick cut scene to the landlord's house, and I'm already like, what is happening? We've never seen this movie because we see the daughter like eating alone in the kitchen, and the mother's freaking out because she lost her fork. And
dude, she like body shames her too. She's like, you didn't lick this plate, did you? And she's like, this dress better fit you. I've been working on it all day. Like, way to cause some serious fucking issues and traumatize this poor little girl.
Dang.
Absolutely bizarre scene. She's like, you do know the punishment, right? Like, where's the fork? And then out of nowhere, dude, this creepy like hand comes and grabs a fork from like it's coming from like a hole in the wall, and like hands her a fork. Like, I was like, what is even happening? And then the dad comes in, and the mother's like, Alice is feeding the thing in the walls again. Like, I had no clue what is happening.
Just real quick, at this point in the movie, did you guys know what you were entailed for, or did you think like this was like a cobweb where like someone actually is stuck in those walls and living a life in those walls, and they're friends with that girl, and the parents have no idea?
I initially did think that. I thought that like that was just something randomly living in there, and the parents knew nothing about it.
Yeah, going into this blind was wild.
Just a quick fun fact leading into this, because that person is in the wall, and this is called The People Under the Stairs. That's actually Harry Potter's real dad, and that's where his childhood trauma came from, when he got stuck under the stairs in the first Harry Potter.
So this is
Justin's never seen Harry Potter. I can tell by the look on his face.
I don't even know what just happened. Okay. All right. Anyway, yeah.
But no.
Harry Potter. So anyway, as we see the dad now pissed, he's taking his belt off, and he basically says, "Bad girls burn in hell." And the mother says, "Well, don't bruise her face this time." We see Leroy now is got his good buddy Spencer with him, and they're doing recon. They're gonna send Fool, as he's dressed as a Boy Scout, to try to get into this house of the landlords now that they've been casing. Didn't work. Mother basically shut it right down. So they decide that they're going to send Spencer in. Spencer's a pro. He knows how to do this. He says he will get in. He dresses up in his gas company outfit, and he basically goes in and says he needs to check the indoor meter. Looks very professional because he even has a clipboard, and you never question people with clipboard, so that usually works.
Is that why you walk around in the morning with the clipboard?
Yes, that's a joke to all the supervisors. I say, if you walk around with a clipboard, no one will ever question you. So if I have to walk across the room, if you look, I'm always carrying something. So it always looks like I have something. Oh, yeah, I'm just like collecting data, what to order next. You know what? Shout out, people. If you want to follow us, give us a follow and everything, just for more in like general life tips.
If you like clipboards, give us a follow.
Yeah, just on. Hey, you heard it here first. Walk around with a clipboard, you won't get questioned. Anyway, so Spencer's in there. It works. They let him in, and we see that Leroy and them are watching, and they're waiting for him to come out and everything. He doesn't come out right away. We actually see the woman driving away, and they're like, where the hell is Spencer? Like, what is going in? They're like, all right, we gotta go in. So they drive the van right into the driveway, and
park it right in her parking spot. That's fucking great idea.
Yeah, I did not understand that at all. But they end up breaking in, and right away, you could tell this movie is just gonna be crazy because you see like a voodoo doll or something, and there's like rat trips, and like this doll's being like pulled on string like into the wall.
If you notice, that doll is actually dressed like Spencer.
Yes, crazy. And before you even have a breath, all of a sudden there's a giant Rottweiler, and this thing, we got a dog attack right away, and they basically jump into the other room, lock that door. The whole place is, you see this padlocks everywhere right away. They're hearing stuff in the background. This feels like there's stuff running around in the house. It smells wicked bad. And
dude, all the cabinets have locks on them.
That's the thing. You already see there's just padlocks everywhere. And they start walking around and split it. They actually split up. We see that Fool wants to go down into the basement. Goes down to the basement. It is already super creepy. We see Spencer's clipboard. So the clipboard thing didn't fool whoever was down there. You hear like whispering and stuff. There's like doors shutting. There's like a TV facing like inside a wall or something. There's a lot of creepy shit going on in here. We see flashlights. Like there's like people running flashlight stuff. I still have no clue what's going on. Like I said, this is the first time watched. This is absolutely bizarre.
And if all these people under the stairs have flashlights, how many batteries like a week do you think this family goes to? Or do you think they give like the little hand crank ones?
Yeah, batteries. I mean, they probably can.
They change them out. They change them out. Yeah,
but it's definitely expensive shopping for them. We see Spence, and he is dead, and he is gripping a coin, and he is like pale face. I don't know if he got scared to death. Not 100% sure why. How
I think Fool says I think Fool says you got scared to death.
Yeah, he randomly saw the people down there and just actually got scared to death. And at this point, we see hair moaning and groaning, and he's getting pulled like behind the wall or something. Like this is so bizarre. Fool gets tackled by a crazy, creepy kid, and he gets up and he is running. He runs up the stairs. These stairs activate a slide mode. Dude falls right back down the stairs, and this kid is trying to get after him. We see the door open at the top, and Fool ends up running up there. Alice lets him escape. Door slams. Alice is already gone. This is a lot to process real fast, because all of a sudden now, before you're like, what just happened? We hear that the parents are already getting home, and you're like, oh shit! Like he's gonna go find Leroy, because they decide, of course, why? Like you better split up. That's just what you do. He runs
such
upstairs.
A good idea in any horror movie.
Such a good idea. He runs upstairs. He finds Leroy. He tells him that Spence is dead. I also feel like he left out a lot of information that he should probably told Leroy. Like, hey, maybe
this might be one of my favorite lines in the movie. Is he's like, "Yo, Spence is dead," and he's like, "What?" And he's like, "You thought he was white before. You should see him now."
You see him now. But like, hey, maybe mention about like the crazy kid tackling
the crazy people down there,
the moaning, the groaning,
the fact that his hand is half eaten.
Like maybe talk about that. That should probably be information that would be good to it.
Nah, fuck all that. Hey, look, I got a gold coin.
No, we don't. You don't need to give all that, because it's Ving Rhames here. You don't need to give that.
So all of a sudden, it's panic now. It's time to escape. They're like, all right, the parents are home. All of a sudden, like you start realizing, like this has got a very Home Alone horror feel to it. Because as they're running around, you see like Sean said, just everything's like locked down. They try to open a window too. There's traps everywhere.
Yeah, everything's locked from the outside as well. Like all the grates and the steel bars on these windows, they're padlocked from the outside. So they're not trying to keep anyone out. They're trying to keep someone in.
Imagine if this is just Macaulay Culkin as he grew up and he had PTSD from the first robbers.
right? Yeah, seriously. At one point, Fool actually tries to go out, and the door handle zaps him like he gets like electrocuted really quick. We see the owners at this point; they're coming in. They let the damn dog out again, so here we go again. So, poor Leroy at this point. This dog just runs and latches onto Leroy, and he is getting messed up by this. And we get an absolute badass scene of Fool like dragging Leroy over, and he creates like a human chain as he grabs Leroy, he grabs the doorknob, and the electrocutes like
he just electrocutes everyone.
Dude, that was smart.
Goes
that was so smart and stupid at the same time.
And shocks the dog, and the dog like gets stunned. And at this point again, like we see him, they run upstairs, they can't break the glass. Leroy ditches Fool. He's like, peace out, like I'm gone, I'm going to hide. We see the owners pulling switches and stuff, putting the house on lockdown. And at this point, the lights go out. We see there's like intercoms. This is an insane house, and he is running around, and you hear the mother's calling him daddy. He ends up, he's got a shotgun too. This dude is out to kill. He is just blasting anywhere he hears anything. He ends up finding Leroy, and he blasts him with the shotgun. Boom. Leroy's gone. Take it away, Sean.
Leroy down. Leroy down. I repeat, Leroy down. Did you guys hear the trash talking that Fool said to that dog to try and get him off of Leroy? He was like, hey, yo, I bet your mama sleeps with cats.
So good.
But all right, so it's time for Dexter to try and survive in this hell house all on his own. Daddy and Mommy start to thrust and jive like it's a celebration because they took Leroy down. Daddy thinks Leroy was calling him a fool, when in actuality, we know that Leroy was calling out to Fool. And the woman says, the only good fool is a dead fool. Speaking of Fool, he gets away, and he's into the walls this time with some help from a doll and a candle. I'm still thoroughly confused as to these dolls and these candles at this point in the movie. Daddy can't find him. So this motherfucker just starts blasting away at the walls, just shooting everything and anything in his path. Like the amount of home construction this guy must do is unreal. Like he must own stock in Home Depot.
Oh yeah.
And he's just yelling at the walls, telling it to get back in the basement. So we know whatever's in this walls, he knows belongs in that basement with everything we've seen from earlier.
It's wild too. So as a first time watch, like I had no clue what to expect this movie. I thought it was just gonna be pure, like terrifying. Dude, this daddy character is the most over the top, like out of control character. Like I was not expecting, like, I don't even know what you call it, like mixing weird dark humor. I guess I just never watched the trailer of this or like realized what I was in for.
I'm so glad you didn't.
Yeah, because that's what I mean. Like this was when he's acting like crazy, like this blasted. I'm dying laughing. I'm like, I just did not expect this. I'm like, this dude's wild.
It gives out very like House of a Thousand Corpses vibes.
Yeah, like it's ridiculous. Like,
just no fucks given.
Yeah,
but all right.
It had a cheesy 80s feel to this too. Yeah,
I love it. So Fool now meets Alice, the lady behind these dolls that are all over the house, and he does another thing. Fool is just full of these great one-liners, and he goes, "What's the matter?" Because she looks scared, and he's like, "You ain't never met a brother before?" And she kind of responds with like, "I have a brother," and he's like, "Nah, you know, a black guy." Yeah, right over her head. Fool thinks she's acting scared because she's black, when in reality she's timid as fuck because she's never actually left this house. He insists though that he's gonna get them both out of here, and she says, "Plenty have tried, but no one has ever gotten out." Alice now explains to Fool that Mommy and Daddy have tried real hard to have the perfect son, to have the perfect boy, but none of them ever work out. So Daddy just cuts off their bad parts and puts them in the basement. They got food and flashlights though, so they must be happy. What the fuck did I just hear? You cut off these dudes' dicks? What? Are you kidding me?
I guess it's the best. It's their favorite part. I don't know.
Yeah, do they eat it as like breakfast sausage? Like, what the fuck? What is going on right now, Waterboy?
I had a lot of questions too. I'm like, what is happening?
I do not condone dick cutting.
Do you prefer the twisting?
Glad we cleared that up.
Dick twist.
So we hear like loud moaning in the walls, and Alice curls over and like covers their ears. And Fool's like, what's that noise? And Alice goes, it's Roach. Daddy's been hunting him because he got out of the cellar and into the walls. And then out bursts Daddy in a full bondage outfit, looking like the Rubber Man from American Horror Story. This must be Daddy's cool hunting gear. I wonder what his safe word is.
Right?
Worcestershire
Worcestershire sauce.
Worcestershire sauce. But he's back to blasting holes in the wall like a madman. But Fool refuses to go like into the walls, and he panics. So this guy hides in the most protected place in the entire house, a shower with a curtain, because that's going to stop a shotgun.
Oh, yeah, that's 100%. And there's no way that anybody would ever move that shower curtain to figure out.
No, not like shadows exist or anything like that.
Right.
But now we think this movie is going to turn, and the cops show up because Leroy's van has been spotted, and it matches the description of a van that was used in a 211 last night at a liquor store. I'm assuming 211 means burglary because, as Justin mentioned earlier on, Leroy found out about this house and their treasures because he had just robbed their liquor store and came across some mail that gave him a description of someone trying to buy this man's coin collection for a very, very hefty amount.
Mm-hmm.
And just like Justin said with these loudspeakers, Mummy calls out to Daddy over their sound system to alert him that the cops are there. Mummy and Daddy go out. I would feel so gross saying Mummy and Daddy.
Yeah, I don't like it.
That's Justin's code words.
No, I felt uncomfortable writing Daddy. Like a lot of times.
I felt like I'm writing a 50
Justin,
Shades of Nope.
Yeah.
When you wrote it down, were you like, did you think in your mind, Daddy?
Oh my God, I did write exclamation mark after it every single time I wrote it.
You did not.
But they go outside now to talk to the cops, and the cops advise them to stay inside and lock their doors. And Mummy just goes, "Oh, you know we will. You know we will." And in the process of the cops leaving, Mummy and Daddy realize that the boy is in the house too, because after finding a Cub Scout uniform in the back of the van, she puts two and two together and realizes the little black boy asking her to buy cookies that support cerebral palsy is in the house as well. Fool starts to tango with the dog from earlier, the Rottweiler, and that dog's got him cornered. And Daddy just sticks like his head through the door. It's just everything is going so wild right now. And just as he does that, dude, Fool just smashes him over the head with, I think, a brick. And Roach scoops up Fool just in time to pull him into the walls and get away safely. They run through the walls trying to get away. This house has so many walls within walls and hallways. It's almost like they're servant corridors and hall. I'm getting confused. I don't know how anyone can keep track of this. There is
also
It's nuts.
We learned what this house was the crematorium.
Yeah, it was a funeral home.
Yeah, funeral home. So how great, like, and that makes sense too. Because at first, I know I forgot that. I'm like, how is it? Like, what kind of house does this have? All the shit that I'm like, oh my God, it's a funeral home. That's why all the it just made sense, like the burner and shit in the bay, all that crazy stuff. Like,
I was gonna say the set for this, they did pretty freaking awesome having this house.
Yeah, they did. But the dog makes its way back to Mummy and Daddy, and it brings Alice's doll, and the mother is absolutely fucking pissed. Because when she sees this, she realizes that Alice is kind of in on it, and she's been helping Fool out this whole time. We now see Fool, Roach, and Alice are all hiding, and Alice explains that Mom and Dad cut out Roach's tongue for trying to call for help, because that's what people do when they believe and see no evil, speak no evil, and hear no evil. This motherfucker's lucky. He's still got eyes and ears. Fool sees all of Alice's dolls. And he's like, what is this? He's like, I've been seeing these all over the house. And she explains that it's her way of protecting the souls who have died in this house. Just then, Daddy blasts in with the shoddy, and Mum pins Alice to the bed, saying it's time to do some spring cleaning, some heavy duty spring cleaning. Everything must go. It is a fucking fire sale in this house. Bro, Daddy, like we talked about before we started recording, this man is such a piece of shit. Dude, he drags and then throws Fool down these active stairs because he's alive. I think that's the only reason why he did it, just to bang him up and inflict some more damage. Mm-hmm. And then turns on the switch to make it a slide and slides Leroy's dead body down there. Least he could have done was push Fool down the slide, because I know as fathers that's what you're supposed to do, right? You're supposed to help your kids go down the slide.
Down the slide.
That would have. Could you imagine that? That would have been such a good scene if he just slid him down the stairs and he was just like laughing all the whole time.
He's like,
Dude.
woo!
And then the mother dude gets fucking wild as well. She throws Alice into Leroy's puddle of blood, and she tells her she's misbehaving and these kids are going to be the death of her. Foreshadowing? I think so. But she throws her into this puddle of blood, makes her clean it. And then she gets even more mad that Justin is running away to take a piss right now. That she just tosses Alice into a boiling bath. And you can just hear these like curdling screams coming from Alice.
Horrible.
And I feel so bad for her.
And
But
I just gotta say, she's blaming her for getting blood on her dress when she's the one who threw in the fucking blood.
That is literally my next note. I go, Alice only got blood on this nice clean dress that mom spent all day making because the mother threw her into the fucking pool of blood to clean it. Jesus Christ. What a fucking... Can you talk about gaslighting real quick?
Holy shit.
If you're ever going to gaslight a kid, that is the definition of gaslighting. It's your fault that I pushed you into the puddle of blood.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ, come on. All right, so now that Justin's back from taking a piss, Fool is now left to fend for his life with the people under the stairs. And what looks like a skinned corpse, bro, starts to sit up and moans, just like when Justin's trying to unleash his dragon in between his legs to hurry up and pee to run back to the podcast. Only to reveal that this is a fully dead corpse and it's Roach behind it making the noises. And Roach almost looks like he's having fun. Yeah,
dude, that was ridiculous.
That was like, insane. If he could talk, I think he would have been like, gotcha. But then he gives Fool a gold coin to show him that this is real. Mm-hmm. And he gestures, once they get into like the hallways to get away, he gestures to Fool like, this is real, this is here, but make sure you save Alice. And she's upstairs. He points upstairs. And then they notice that Fool has been shot. And unfortunately, at this point in the movie, Roach falls victim to his wounds and passes away. In a movie that is incredibly wild, sick, sadistic, it shows classism, racism, all this fucking pedophilia, fucking, I'm assuming incest, all this shit. Yeah. I felt something for Roach. Granted, he had no lines in this movie, but the genuine like child in him that still treated this entire thing like a game to then die and be like, hey, make sure you save this girl out there. She's innocent.
That was sad.
Like that little brief seriousness right there.
Yeah. That brought you right in a wild ass movie. That brought you right back down to earth. And you're like, damn, man, I wish Roach, lived. Fool is now in the vents as he makes his way to Alice. Daddy's in the room with Alice. And dude, like I just said, he gives off a very gross feeling. And his intentions may or may not be what my brain went to, but this dude, she's hung up, like strung up by her wrist against the wall, and he's in this fucking BDSM stupid ass rubber outfit, and he's telling her she's been a bad girl, and he's like rubbing his junk, and I'm like, this is disgusting.
And then it was walking over there, and then just before he gets to her, then he leaves.
Yeah, it just, and then Fool burst. No, he doesn't just leave Waterboy. Fool burst in at the right time, and this motherfucker just punches him right in the dick. Like, bam! Fuck your nuts.
Let's go.
He gives him just enough time to for him and Alice to slip away. Daddy is pissed, so he turns the furnace on and he tells them both to burn in hell, and he cranks that shit up to 11. They make it out of the vents though, just in time. Smoke inhalation though probably got to him, but they get back into the walls only for Fool to let out a sneeze that gives away their position, and Daddy again starts blasting home renovations into these walls. We also see Spikes this time as a booby trap, just like a gate.
Fucking Indiana Jones shit.
Yeah, seriously.
Hey, can I talk? Hey, did you guys realize when he was blasting at first, were you thinking how the hell can people not hear this outside?
Yeah, because when they show the house, you can see neighbors.
But then did you realize how smart they were to cover it? Because you remember when he was banging on the glass, no one could hear him outside at one point.
Yeah, so everything is soundproofed.
So at first I was thinking all right, come on, this dude is black. How could no one hear this? But then I do remember they cleverly did show. I think maybe it was Fool.
It was when the cops were there. He was beating the shit out of the window.
And and they showed it from outside, and you couldn't hear anything. You could just see him. So I'm like, all right, that is pretty smart. Everything must just be soundproof.
Oh man.
All right. But at this point, with the booby traps activated, Daddy decides to send the dog in to see if they're dead. Fool decides, all right, yo, I'm done running. Fuck this dog. It's time to throw down. So he starts fighting with this dog. And all the time while he's fighting, Daddy has like a bayonet attached to the shotgun, and he's ramming the sword through the wall. But Fool, with some quick thinking, because Fool ain't no fucking fool no more, he pins the wall to the dog. Unfortunately, rest in peace. That dog was only doing what it was supposed to do, which was protect its owners.
Yep.
Daddy stabs and kills the Rottweiler, and he pulls out and he looks at the sword, and he gets super happy thinking that he killed Fool and not the dog. And Fool even makes like dying sounds. Like, he is very clever when this happens. Very quick thinking on his feet. Daddy celebrates way too early as he goes to look for the dog, and he realizes he killed Prince, the formerly alive dog. Fool and Alice make it up the stairs, and they're getting ready to jump out onto the roof. Just before they can break free, though, Daddy shows up, and he starts blasting away, and this causes Fool to slide down the roof and land in a pond that we seen from the earlier scenes when he was tossing the rocks. He gets Alice back into the house, though, so Fool's the only one to make it out. Daddy... This is another loophole, Justin. We were talking about the shotguns. Dude, this motherfucker runs outside and is shooting wildly. So if they couldn't hear the shotgun shots before, they can hear him now.
Yeah.
But Mommy just yells at him, and she says, there's no shooting your gun outside. You know better than this. And then she tells him to come inside and go get his suit on because he's got a hot date with Waterboy's turn.
Oh. All right. So the Fool manages to escape the grasp of Bondage Man and Mommy Dearest. With the coins, he gets some news that he can have his rent paid up until the year 2000.
I think he says 2024, right?
And his mama's operation. We learn that the family is actually brother and sister. Fucking weird. And it's a long line of crazies who got greedier and greedier with time.
This is just the hills have eyes in the fucking suburbs.
Literally.
Let's be real.
Against the wishes, Fool heads back to the house to try and save Alice. Fool calls the cops and gets them over, but they cleaned up shop at the place. Everything looks perfect. The cops showed up. They're even serving them cookies and tea.
Dude, and they're enjoying it. Like, the cops are walking around. She's playing housewife. She's like, I am so sorry. Like, we've never even had any kids.
That's true psychopath when they can just switch like that off a dime. Oh, my God.
And then he's dressed up like he's gonna go hang out at the fucking local country club.
It looks like he's about to go fishing, honestly.
Insane.
And then the closet he hides everything in. Did you see that?
Yeah, but that's what I said. Yep. Everything is peachy perfect. But Bondage Man almost forgot his chains on the table. Smooth save. Wonder if they question the complete steel door with locks on the outsides.
No. That's normal. That's normal. It's a bad neighborhood.
That's true. Fool managed to sneak in while the back door was open. But Bondage Man and Mommy Dearest set a trap with a recording on the bed, and before he knows it, Fool is in a scuffle with Bondage Man and beats the shit out of him, and then Fool makes a run into the house. And we see Alice is hanging up in the attic, but Fool comes to save her by climbing up the chimney. Bondage Man sees the smoke in the chimney and investigates, but gets a brick dropped on his head instead.
Home Alone style. Let's go.
Mommy Dearest gives permission for Bondage Man to put an end to both of them. Hearing that they are in the cellar, Bondage Man opens the door with Fool right there waiting, cocking the shotgun back with an awesome line. You know a prayer? Say it.
That was pretty good.
And turns the stairs for him to slide, and he turns the stairs to slide him down. The people under the stairs shine their flashlights and blind Bondage Daddy for Fool to escape. With the knock on the door, we see all the neighborhood arrive and catch Mommy Dearest before Alice drops down and slams her head, knocking her ass out. The people under the stairs start to help Fool and points the way to where all the money is locked up downstairs. Alice, about to get her revenge, she locks up the house. She wants her all to herself. Chasing after Alice with the knife, the people under the stairs break out from under them stairs and bite her in the fucking arm, and then they all start coming out from everywhere.
All right, I got a quick question real quick.
Yeah.
When they start coming out of the walls, I get it. When they start coming out of the vents, I get it. When they come out of the basement, I get it because they're coming out of the basement. There's walls. There's like AC ducts, heat ducts, all that shit. How the fuck did y'all come out of the damn locked closets or the cabinets?
That's
They
true.
got padlocks on them.
They're
Have you
super
been
strong.
in there
Dude.
the whole time?
Their will to live is super strong, Sean. I gotta say.
They did come out everywhere. I loved it.
Yeah.
Such a badass. It looks so cool, though. It looks so cool.
Oh gosh! And Alice stabs her right in the chest with them all surrounding her, and they throw her down the stairs, killing her on her landing down. And the vault, full corners.
Is that English?
Yes. No. Maybe. I don't know. I was talking like one of the people under the stars.
I don't even know what just happened.
I don't even know what you said. You were like Alice killed her, landed down.
You're like Alice.
My man just had a stroke.
I know. Are you okay?
No, not really. In the vault, full corners him with dynamite and gives Bondage Daddy a choice and ends up blowing him the fuck up with money flying all over the block into the ghettos, with the people under the stairs escaping out into the streets. I don't know how like they were gonna get like. I guess they can't really live too normally because, I mean, they look a little weird, but and then we get outside.
They don't look weird, dude. That's where Skrillex came from.
They look like in like a. They almost look like should be in like a gothic glam metal band, like spandex on with like the long hair. And
that's like they're like Demi Borger or something like that.
Yeah.
Cradle of Filth just walked out of the basement.
Right, oh my god, that's what it is.
Nymphetamine.
I saw them live by accident, and I think I saw a few of them there.
You probably did. Long live the people under the stairs. Oh,
you talk about that Scrooge McDuck money real quick.
That was crazy.
What?
That was like DuckTales.
They have bags of cash and gold coins just fucking everywhere.
Was that?
Y'all ain't never heard of a bank?
No,
that
they
was
haven't.
Crazy.
Who just has a freaking vault like that? Just money laying around. Come on. I mean, look at the house though. Honestly, They could fix those walls for sure.
Well, I mean, they're self-fixing.
That's true.
You can't shoot your own walls that many goddamn times and then have the cop show up 5 minutes later and have everything look hunky-dory.
Crazy.
These guys have the technology to repair walls within split seconds. And that's where they make all their money. It's not from charging people 3 times the amount of rent when you're late one day.
Nope. They're inventors. They've invented a nice wall patch.
All right, Waterboy, tell us about the last 30 seconds of this movie.
That was it, right?
I don't know. We started talking. We went in circles.
That was
awesome. End credits.
Yeah,
oh my god.
That's what I was waiting for. I was just waiting for you to say end credits.
Oh my god. I was
like, hold on. Was there stuff in the credits that I didn't watch through? I'm like, oh shit.
All right, fellas. Anyone got any fun facts before we touch ratings?
I don't know why I made
touch ratings, dude. I felt so dirty saying touch ratings after all this. Oh.
Yeah,
calm down,
my bad.
Let's
no Diddy.
Yeah, no, it's
no Diddy. Diddly.
So I guess I can talk about the tagline. The tagline was, in every neighborhood, there is that one house that adults whisper about and children cross the street to avoid. So that's what we got for a tagline.
And in this house, it has people under the stairs, and in Halloween, it's the Strode residence.
Yeah. How about the true story that this is based on? Do you guys hear about that?
Wait, there ain't no way Bondage Daddy's based on a true story.
Well, no. So Wes Craven, did you hear how Wes Craven got this idea from a newspaper clip of a story that happened in Los Angeles in 1978. It was when 2 African Americans broke into a nice house in like the suburbs, and they got obviously cops call on them and everything, and it inadvertently caused the police to actually discover that the house they broke into had a pair of children locked in the base, like locked away by their parents.
Oh shit!
Yeah, Wes Craven saw that, and obviously he turned it into his whole entire thing. But that's how this movie was formed in his head. He saw that. He said it always stuck with him, and he knew he had to do something with that.
Shit, that's crazy.
Checked off one of my fun facts.
Yeah. Should we already do a Halloween tie-in right now?
Dude, take it away, Justin. Let's go.
Right, let's go. You know what? I'm not going to give you 1 Halloween tie-in this one. I'm not even going to give you 2 Halloween tie-ins.
Oh, you're going to give us the Season of the Witch?
I'm going to give you 3 Halloween tie-ins. So the most ever recorded in 1 episode. So you know what? 3 different Halloween tie-ins too. We're gonna go Rob Zombie's Halloween. Inside the house interior, it might look a little familiar because it is the same inside house of the people under the stairs. You want to talk about Rob Zombie's Halloween 2? We'll talk about Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Sean Whalen, who plays Roach, has actually appeared in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Played a minor character in that movie. Oh, what? You want to talk about Halloween 5?
Yeah, he was also in 3 from Hell too.
He was in, dude, never mind, his IMDb is crazy. The dude's been in like a million different things.
My God.
But so special effects makeup artist for Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers, Howard Berger, also did special effects makeup to help design the people under the stairs. So we got 3 Halloween tie-ins from this movie. Let's go.
Oh yeah, let's go.
It's a new record.
It's a new record.
Waterboy, you got any fun facts?
I don't. My kids are screaming.
All right, well, let's put you on mute. And one of the 2 that I found interesting, one of them which was Justin covered, this movie has a ton of, like I said, racial undertones, socialism undertones, classism, like you name it. Wes Craven touched on just about everything, and he made you aggressively uncomfortable watching it to the point where they even dropped the N-bomb, I think, in this movie. I always said this is probably a movie that should never be remade, but however, it is announced that it will be getting a remake with Ezra Daniels writing it and the current horror master, Jordan Peele, slated to direct it.
Oh, shit.
If anyone can take this movie and update it, it's Jordan. We've seen what he's done with Get Out. We've seen what he's done with Us. We've seen what he's done with just everything that he's been releasing and how well he can tie in things that, it came out in 2020.
I'm curious.
It was announced in 2020.
Yes,
and it was supposed to come out before the SAG strikes. It got put on delay because of the writer strikes.
But I remember hearing about this like 4 years ago, but then nothing ever happened.
It got brought back up, and Bloody Disgusting and Fangoria both wrote, I believe, articles that said in November of 2023 that it was still a greenlit go.
All right, I was wondering if it was still actually going to happen.
Yeah. And that's all I've got.
Justin. The last thing I want to touch about really fast is Mommy and Daddy. They were so uncomfortable, but they played such great chemistry together because they actually played a married couple literally a year before this movie.
That's why they were recruited for this movie.
Yeah, and in Twin Peaks, the show TV series Twin Peaks, he saw that and they literally they got hired because of that movie.
Wow, that's awesome.
They've done some movies together.
It did play the creep factor perfect, honestly.
You want to talk about creepy, Waterboy? I told Justin this before we got on the podcast. Daddy is also the pastor / werewolf from Silver Bullet.
I recognized him. I looked it up. It drove me crazy.
And he is very creepy and unsettling in that movie. This guy,
I was just gonna say,
he pulls that off very well.
Maybe he's really, watch out for this guy.
All right, Waterboy, while you're still talking, why don't you give us a rating?
I'm gonna give this an 8.2 out of 10 for doing what they did with this and putting oh my God, just the setting of the movie. The acting was perfect for the year that this was done. I loved it, and honestly, I'm glad I actually finally watched it after holding off for all this time.
Nice, Justin.
All right, so just real quick, what I did like about this, it felt like almost like a over the top 80s like weird horror movie. I loved Fool. Fool was awesome. Alice was awesome. Sometimes kids in horror movies can come across a little annoying, and sometimes they don't always hit. I thought they were awesome. I really rooted for both of them. And I like I said, for the year, what was this, 1991? I did feel like it was like really progressive to have like a 13-year-old African American as like the lead protagonist. Really like that. I thought it was a very unique blend of horror, social commentary, some dark humor mixed in there with some over-the-top characters. And I give it a 6.7 out of 10. I liked it a lot. I mean, it wasn't my favorite thing I've ever seen, but I am also so glad I watched it, and I did enjoy it. And I always want to watch a Wes Craven movie, so very glad I crossed this off my list.
Hell yeah! It also gave me like a weird, like Goonies type of feel with the treasure type of seeking type deal.
Yep. Yep. When you guys talk about the child actors, Fool crushes it. He's 13 and he plays a great 13-year-old, which is perfect. But did you guys know? I believe Alice was 18 when they
she
wrote
was
this movie.
Yeah,
Oh,
Her
wow.
acting chops are unreal in this movie.
Yeah.
That like the scene where mom is like pretty much body shaming her. The fact that she could just swell up in tears while keeping that straight face, it blew my mind how well this girl acted.
Crazy.
Yeah, because I think they said she was supposed to be like what 12, but yeah, she was like 6 years older or something. Same thing with Roach. Roach was like what? Roach was like 26 or something.
Yeah, and he plays like he could have passed off as like a 10 or an 11-year-old. Like
I was gonna say
passed off as a child.
That was wild.
Nuts.
His fun spontaneousness just shows that like obviously mommy and daddy took him when he was an infant or he was very, very young, because everything going on in this house, he treats as a game, bro. He's got Christmas lights in the hallways lighting his ways. And he laughs about everything. He's got a good, pure, kind heart. This adds to my movie collection of I've never seen Vin Rhames in a bad movie. So that being said, I give this movie a 7.3. I love it.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? It is an uncomfortable rewatch, but this is a movie that is supposed to make you uncomfortable. It's supposed to make you question your character ethics. It's supposed to make you think, you know, does this shit really go on in the world? Do people really treat each other like this? Like even when we see nature versus nurture, all right? Fool's nature is to be a good, kind-hearted kid, right? But nurturing, he gets nurtured by Ving Rhames to come commit these crimes because you're brought up in the ghetto. You need to do this shit to survive. Yep. You need to do this to make sure your family has a home. And then right after we have these conversations, we see Fool running through what looks like a crack house, and he's got a brown paper bag, and it looks like he's making drug runs. And immediately, as you know, a suburban white guy, I'm like, he's making a drug run for this dude, fucking Leroy. And that is far from the case because we see how uncomfortable he is running through all these drug addicts to go upstairs to a door that's got like 47 locks on it that he unlocks that I'm assuming is the dealer's house. This is where the money is. This is the stash spot. He opens it. No, bro, this is where his family has to live. And he goes in there and he says a line that melts my heart. He sits down next to his sick mother and he says, Mom, one of these days, I'm going to get you a Cadillac for both feet. And you're going to skate so bad around this neighborhood. And you could just feel the love coming from those words to his mom.
So good.
Like,
yeah, you really root for Fool. Yeah, Fool, man, you really like, oh, God, he was the awesome lead character in this. So good.
For his age, that was
amazing. And just the fact, like, he goes back later for Alice. Like, he, like, needs to go back. Like, dude, like, oh.
Like, you don't have to go back, bro. You are a child. Yeah. You escaped this. Do not go back. Like, you go get the proper authorities, which he does try to do. He calls the cops, but they do nothing because that's a white family, and they got the phone call from the ghetto. So, you know what I mean?
No, Fools, dude. Wes Craven, man, just oh man, Wes Craven. I was like talking about this before we record. Like, I think, man, he's the best horror director of all time. I'm just gonna say it. Like,
he really is. Like, we love John Carpenter, we love all these people, but Wes Craven nails. That's including everything that goes on in the world into his movies in such a way that makes you fall in love with characters.
Yeah, and his overall work, as like I said, John Carpenter directed my favorite horror movie, but if just the old bodies of work, man, Wes Craven has been all over the place. So how do you start out with The Last House on the Left in 1972? And you also do like The Hills Have Eyes. Then you do stuff like this, but then you also create Freddy Krueger in the friggin' 80s. And then you reinvent the slashers in like 96 with Scream. Like, are you kidding me? Like,
I just love it. He I don't know how he does it. He takes a horror movie and he implements the hardest parts of society into these movies just deep down. And like you could, I don't, it's crazy what he does.
Yeah, man. Rest in peace, Wes.
All right. On that note, which is a sad note because I miss that guy's touch on Hollywood, but
same.
I'm Hacky. That's Stabby. This dude down here is about to tell you to like, share, subscribe, and follow us on all social media platforms. It is
Just Justin. Smash that like button. Peace out. Till next week.
Later.
Deuces.